But we don't think about all the stuff we went through after slavery. And that's what this movie highlights for us. All this family wanted to do was move to a neighborhood and work and provide for their children, which is what all of our families wanted to do. So now the father's story, they get to Compton and he's an engineer, but of course, you know, back in the 50s, the only black engineer in this company, and he was mistreated on his job, right? He had to, yes, sir, and be treated differently and all of that kind of stuff. And y'all know what this did? Y'all know what this did for me? This really made me think about my mother, my uncles, my aunts. I picked up the phone at the end of this series because my mother has passed on, and I called my uncle. He didn't answer, but I called him because I wanted to say thank you. Thank you for all that you did. And a lot of us are walking around and we are mad at our family, mad at our parents because they didn't coddle us. And I'm speaking of the Gen X, 60 Gen Xers, those of us born in the late 60s, early 70s. We talk about that our parents didn't coddle us, didn't tell us that they loved us all the time, didn't do all the, nice little things. I think about my uncle, my mother's brother. He had 5 children. And sometimes, I look back and I think about, did he ever go to a football game or baseball game with his sons? And a lot of us are holding animosity toward our families because they didn't do this. But y'all imagine that your mother and father trying to take care of you, going to work every day. And if your parents are still living and they're older, they're like in their 80s and stuff right now, talk to them and hear some of the stories that they actually had to go through on their jobs if they've never told you about it. So now you imagine, you go to work every day, you're working hard, you're not making the same thing that your white counterparts are working and making. Some you got to go. I remember when I watched the movie about the black ladies in the space, how they had to run all the way outside and around the corner to a bathroom. Our families, our parents endured that kind of thing, that you couldn't be respected on your job when you were working hard. That's what they endured. So now you imagine enduring that and then trying to come home and be this loving and caring and helicopter toddling parent to your children when you're just trying to make it. And so that's what watching this series helped me to understand. I'm like, my God, no wonder, a lot of these older black women are so mean, because look at what they went through. Just sometimes just sit and actually imagine. I'm a empath, sometimes to a fault, but I am, and I can feel it. I put myself in their place, and I understand, and I just sit and imagine what they really had to go through and how torturous that was. So definitely, if you get a minute, watch the series. Now, I did watch season 2, y'all, of them, and I was kind of lost. I couldn't see the same impactfulness in season 2, and it was still that so the whole thing with them is that, you got all of these psychological things that we're going through and that we go through now, and they become monsters, and that's basically what it was. So, it helped me to understand, to have empathy, which I already had actually, because again, I was always told about the stories, things that my family went through, because I'm, still in the South, and my family is from Pine Mountain. At the time it was Chipley, but and so that's even deeper South. So I understand, and I was able to really relate to, that whole racism and horror. Racism as horror, that was the theme. the American dream. You know, back then, that was a silent generation. So everyone was just following the American dream, following that same path of getting married, wife and 2 kids plus a dog and the picket white fence. Everybody wanted that. And that's simply what they were going after, and what every other black family during that time was going after. But unfortunately, we had to go through so much. Generational trauma. The show is exploring how trauma and the racial trauma is passed down through the generations. And y'all, we have not been free. We still have not been freed as long as we were enslaved. Think about it. So we still are passing down that generational trauma. And if we understand that, then we can, we can start putting a plug in it. If you understand that, hey, my mom and dad did the best that they could, or my mom did the best that she could, because that's what I do with my mom. She did the best that she could. There was a lot of stuff my mother could have done better financially, but I am truly, truly thankful for what she did do for me, and the wisdom and knowledge that she gave me, common sense kind of things that she gave me. So, we have, and with that, I was able to stop that generational trauma in my family with my daughter and my nephew, just exposing them to different things, stop trying to hold on to some of those traditions that's not necessary. Chitlins. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But anyway, generational trauma, and then isolation and alienation. How sad is that you're going to work every day doing the same things that everyone else is doing, but you got to be isolated and alienated and mistreated because of what was going on because of the color of your skin. So that one was really impactful for me. And then the last one that I'm going to talk about, it was so impactful that I watched the series, and then I went and got the book, because I'm like, okay, I need to read this book. But before we go into that, we're going to do a commercial break, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk about Lovecraft Country. I hope y'all enjoying this as much as I am talking about it. Anyway, we'll be right back.
You're looking for a home? You're looking for land? I couldn't look no further. Elite Realty Dominica, I got you covered. Whether it's to buy a home or build a home, or just an investment property, contact Nicole London at 888-860-2366. That's 888-860-2366. Or you can log on to DominicaEliteRealty.com for all your inquiries and questions. Elite Realty Dominica, where exquisite living is defined by nature.
Lawrence Prescott Photography. I'm smiling, I'm laughing because, God, I know what I'm talking about. Lawrence Prescott Photography. That's the only person you need to call when you're ready to take your pictures. You want those pictures to come out right. You want those pictures to last forever. You want your best picture taken? Lawrence Prescott Photography. He does private events, in studio also, and outdoor photography if you need. Photography is what Lawrence Prescott does, and he's really good at it. Trust me. And also, when you want to get that video done, any type of videography production, he got you. He does short films, movies, any type of videos as well. Lawrence Prescott got you at anything that you really need. So make sure you give him a call. His phone number and I'm saying it's you. It's 404-218-1234. Did you get that? 404-218-1234. Lawrence Prescott Photography. Big up.
What's your name?
Earl Walker.
It's all about Caribbean International Shipping. That's right. Do you need more information on shipping your items to the U.S. Southeast region or to the Caribbean? Have you ever heard of Caribbean International Shipping? You shop, they pack, and ship. They also offer residential pickup services. Support our business, like, share, and call.
So should I
Your
do
barrel
it or should I
shipping,
jump
let us know.
back into my
The number to call
No,
is
you gotta introduce it so he can talk.
470-718-9675 on WhatsApp
Then you could
or
always back to close.
770
He said right, and then you close it when he's talking.
Okay.
Caribbean
Then I
International
switch the camera,
Shipping.
and then he
The
comes
only way
on.
to send your stuff to
See,
the
that's
islands. It's all about Caribbean International Shipping. That's right. Do you need more information on shipping your items to the U.S. Southeast region or to the Caribbean? Have you ever heard of Caribbean International Shipping? You shop, they pack, and ship. They also offer residential pickup services. Support our
You got your
business,
grand
like,
opening.
share, and call.
This
If you're
week,
barrel shipping, let us know.
This
The
weekend.
number to call is 470-718-9675 on WhatsApp or 770-323-1111.
Right.
Caribbean International Shipping, the only way to send your stuff to the islands.
All right, we're back. We're back, and I have a guest, just temporary, a guest that popped in, Mr. Earl Walker of E&W Shipping. He is having a grand opening this weekend, and I'm going to give you all a minute and let him tell you about his grand opening and his business.
Wonderful. Atlanta. I am happy to be here in Atlanta.
And welcome.
Yes, for
Another car and traffic, yeah.
for my shipping company. I am out of Maryland.
Okay.
First of all, my name is Earl Walker. If you call anywhere in Maryland and ask about E&W Shipping, that's who I am, and they call me Earl.
Uh-huh.
So I have a lot of people from Atlanta been calling me, want to, know about this shipping company.
Okay.
And it's different from what other shippers do.
Okay.
What we do the ship
Mhm.
and clear. That means you don't have to go to the wharf. And this ship and clear company is just for Jamaicans.
Okay.
Like I don't have the access to go to Antigua or Grenada or Guyana,
All right.
to do the ship and clear. So this one here is just for Jamaicans.
Mhm.
Not to say that I'm not going to ship to Trinidad or Guyana, but that part haven't started up as yet.
Okay.
But I'm doing the ship and clear to Jamaica because, no discrimination. Jamaica ship more than anybody else. And I'm from Jamaica, so I know the ins and outs.
Yes.
So
What is shipping? Okay, we know what shipping. Well, what is the clear? What is that part?
the clearing is that they don't have to go through custom.
Oh.
I do all of that for them.
Okay, so you still go through customs, but they just give you the package and you take care
And
of
I
it.
take care of that.
Okay.
And they pay one fee
Okay.
to do the ship and clear.
Mm-hmm.
When I say one fee, a barrel is one fee. I mean, like the box is different.
Mm-hmm.
They would have to measure the box and then tell me, and then I give them per square feet. I tell them how much I charge
Mm-hmm.
for the boxes.
So you beating out UPS?
Well, UPS doesn't go to Jamaica, but
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I
but
should know that.
we have other shipper here, and I'm not running against anyone.
I know. I'm messing.
I'm just here to do the ship and clear what other company doesn't do.
Yes.
So that is my.
So they literally can just give their package to you, just like they drop it off at a UPS store.
Right.
And don't worry about how it's going to get there. Just know it's going to get there.
Or if not, I come by and pick it up.
Oh, okay. You pick up.
I do the picking up.
Now, I know, and I've heard, like Africa, you have people that ship cars and things like that. Do you ship cars? Or
No, I don't ship cars. I don't ship cars or bikes.
Mm-hmm.
I do household goods. That means furniture.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you have beside cars and bikes, I will ship it.
Okay.
And I don't ship boats. So, I mean, like.
No cars, no bikes, as in motorcycle.
Motorcycle.
But you'll do a regular bike.
I'll do household goods.
Okay.
I will come by and give you a price and whatever you have in your house you want to ship,
Uh-huh.
and I will ship it. We will wrap it, and if not, you can come by my location,
Uh-huh.
and I mean, like, pack your barrels or pack your box,
Uh-huh.
and I will ship it straight to Jamaica.
All right.
Yeah.
So all of my Jamaican people, no, you can ship now.
Yes.
And so you've been in Maryland. How long have you been in business?
I've been in business over 13 years.
Okay.
And I mean, like, Maryland is just so lucky to have me.
Okay.
So now I'm in Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
And I love Atlanta.
Well, we love having you as long as you go back.
Hey.
You don't get on the highway.
I might be moving to Atlanta.
No, please don't. One more car on the road. One more car on the road. We have a thing where we say visit and go home.
And go home.
Go home.
Well,
no, I'm messing with you.
Yeah, I love it down here, and I want to tell the folks that I'm having a grand open.
Okay.
I haven't picked up anything as yet, but I have a grand open this coming Saturday the 7th
Mm-hmm.
at 5002 North Atlanta, North Royal Atlanta Drive.
Okay, number L, Tucker, Georgia.
Tucker, Georgia.
Okay, 30084. That's not far from here.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be giving away free food.
All right, free food, y'all.
I'll be giving away t-shirt.
T-shirts.
And guess what?
What?
Anyone that show up on the location, I give them 40% off.
All right.
Their barrel or the box. They has to show up at the location on Saturday.
Okay.
And I give them 40% off. I'm a man of my word.
All right, so 40% off.
I can tell you, Atlanta, I've been getting calls from California, Miami. Well, I picked up in New York, and I picked up in New Jersey, and I picked up in Philadelphia, and I picked up in Virginia. So now I'm here in Atlanta. Okay. Atlanta, you must be happy to have me.
I'm sure they are. I cannot speak for, any Jamaican people, but I can imagine that this is a service.
This is a service that they need, because you might not know when you go to Jamaica and when you have to go to custom, and when you go to custom, you spend all day there, over there, waiting for your package. You have to go upstairs, come downstairs, go back upstairs, and you spend all day. I cut all of that out.
Do y'all hear it? No more spending time in customs.
All you have to do, my location is in Portmore. And then we truck it down. If you live in Montego Bay, we truck it down to Montego Bay. You're going to pay a small little fee to, because gas price is high, and
you gotta cover it.
You gotta cover a little something, but I'm not gonna kill you.
Okay.
To take it to your home.
Yes.
Or to take it to a location in Montego Bay, where definitely you can come by and pick up your package.
Okay.
Your barrel. So I am very excited to be in Atlanta. And come on out this Saturday.
This Saturday.
We're going to have music. We're going to have free food. And
you
we're going to have a t-shirt to give away.
And 40% off. Shipping.
Oh, my Lord.
Yes.
Come on out. You're going to be excited about the shipping company here.
Yes.
We're here to satisfy your need. I'm not here to get rich. I'm just here to satisfy you.
And that's a beautiful thing. We're servicing our own, and it's interesting that you're here today because I'm discussing, racism, and I'm trying to do it from a different perspective because we've been through a lot.
Yeah.
And I started hearing the Jamaican experience with slavery, and I get so tickled because that's why they captured us. They took us from Africa and brought us over here because we didn't know the land. They tried it with the Indians, and the Indians, it didn't work. But what's funny is I heard a Jamaican lady was telling me, she was like, oh, no, we fought. In Jamaica, you fought. Yeah. The slavery didn't last because you all knew the land and you could fight back. So
we fight back, and we're still fighting back today.
I know.
In Jamaica, they fight with guns. They don't fight with fists anymore.
No, everybody is fighting with that. Yeah. So if you don't mind, you're welcome to stay. I have to discuss one last book before we sign out.
One more thing before I go. I did not give them the address and or the phone number. I am located in 5002 North Royal Atlanta Drive, Suite L, Tucker, Georgia. And the telephone number where you can reach us is 770-524-8663. That's the number here in Georgia. And there's another number if you decide to call me, you can call me personal, 301-440-6132.
All right.
That's the number you can, if you want to talk to Earl in person and find out what's going on. And we also have a website, www.enwshipping.com. No, I don't think .com in it. I'm sorry. www. Shipping. You can find me on that website, or E&W Shipping. If you want to email, enwshipping.com. ENW_shipping@yahoo.com.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where you can reach us. And please, don't be afraid. Come on out. And, let us support. I don't care where you're from, but come on out and support us.
Yeah, because even if you have family, you don't have to be Jamaican.
Right.
You can know some people in Jamaica. Or you could be a entrepreneur doing business and you might need to ship something to Jamaica.
Right.
So, as long as it's going, you understand it is just Jamaica. Just please come on out.
For right now, it's just Jamaican. Later on, we be having the folks from Trinidad, Guyana, Antigua, all these places. I will have these shipping going on for them. But for right now, it's just Jamaicans.
All right.
Yes.
Well, I'd like to thank you, Mr. Walker, and I'm putting this now in the, I'm typing it, I'm putting it on the Facebook page. I'm just putting it there.
Right.
Let's see, 3003008 Now I'm putting the address, and then I'm gonna put your phone numbers.
Okay.
770. So if you're watching this on Facebook, you can go to our live, and then it will be there after the live, and you can get the phone number. And I said this Saturday, and I have the address of where he's going to be located, and the phone number 770-524-8663. And
if they come out, this Saturday, they will I will give them a written note and 40% off their barrels, or their box,
all right,
or their household stuff. You can, if you want to send everything that you have in your house to Jamaica, I am here to do it. Ship and clear. Ship and clear. I will clear your stuff, and you just come to Portmore and show your ID or your TRN number. And one thing I have to say, every person in Georgia, I have to take a TRN number from you. If you doesn't have a TRN number, and whosoever you send your package to, they has to show me a TRN number, and we have it matched up in Jamaica, because some people here get crazy. Oh, ship and clear, so I can send a gun to Jamaica.
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, no, if you send that, well, we are coming for you, because you have to give me a TRN number. And your folks in Jamaica, if we can't catch you, we will catch your folks in Jamaica. So don't try no tricky stuff. We're not into that games.
Okay.
Okay? We are here to help you, support your folks back in Jamaica. So do the right thing. Don't you ever try to do anything illegal, because once you do it illegal, one more thing I have to say. There's a guy down here in America. He thought he could get away with sending illegal stuff to Jamaica. And he got a compressor, brand new compressor. And he opened up the compressor and put illegal firearm in the compressor. And figure more or less they would not catch him. And when it go to Jamaica, they scan it. And they found that these firearms was in the compressor. And they nab him. So don't try anything illegal.
Yeah.
We have something that go around the container that goes zoom. And it can tell you what's in that barrel.
Okay.
I have been in the business for 13 years, and one guy sent 4 guns with me and 13 rounds of bullet.
Oh my goodness.
And he have the nerve to go to Jamaica to say he's going to clear that barrel.
Oh.
And custom hold on to that barrel. And found those guns in the flour and the rice.
Oh my Lord.
And when he go there, they call him and said, "Sir, your stuff is ready to be cleared." And he have the nerves. While it was raining, they had the phone with him from Barbican straight to the wharf. And when he got there, they said, "Look at this barrel. Is that your name?" He said, "Yes, sir."
They locked
right
him up.
there, and spent 8 years in prison and take away his green card.
Oh my Lord.
And the guy was a respectable person.
Uh-huh.
Very respectable person. I could not believe it. Doing IT work.
Well, everybody want that extra.
You know, so I mean, like, I'm telling the folks that, I mean, like, do the right thing. I am here to please you. Don't try to bring me down.
Yes. Yes.
All right?
All right. Well, I thank you, Mr. Earl Walker of E&W Shipping. The information is in our Facebook post. On this Saturday, he is going to be out at 5002 North Royal Atlanta Drive, number L in Tucker, Georgia, 30084. And that number again is 770-524-8663. So y'all come on out, ship your packages.
Yes.
Not going to be a headache. All right. Thank you, Mr. Walker. All right. And so now we're going to move back into my last book, the favorite story that I enjoyed. And that was the Netflix.
Keep going.
That was the Netflix series Lovecraft Country. What I loved about this, again, it was, you know, historical. And what I loved about Lovecraft Country is that they had a lot of historical moments. You know, they intertwined what was going on in history at that time into the story. So basically the series, the novel was a little different. And I watched the series and I loved it so much, y'all. I got it and I actually read this one. I didn't do this one on Audible. I went through and I read this book because I wanted to see what the difference was. So in the series, the HBO series, is the same character, Atticus Freeman. It was Atticus Freeman in the series, but it was Atticus Turner in the book. And he's a young black man. They kept that the same. Young black man who was a veteran of the Korean War, right? And so what happened, he returns home to Chicago, and then he has this letter that his father has written him that says his father is missing, and he has sent him a letter suggesting that in the book, the father was sent the letter that said, you know, he's being held captive. So he went on this trek to find his father. But the series, so we'll just talk about the series. In the series, he was on a journey because he discovered he's the descendant of Titus Braithwaite, a white man who founded a secret society with the goal of achieving immortality through magic. So now this was the mystical element of Lovecraft Country. That was that magical element. And it wasn't necessarily related to race as in them. You know, it wasn't monsters because of the racial things. This was the focus. This was the focus of the story, of him trying to find out how he was related and making the connection and getting his inheritance, because there was some type of inheritance, or he was, you know, being a member of that secret society. And then Letitia Lewis was a character. She became his love interest, but then in the book, she was more like a family friend in the book. But anyway, so they're on this journey of finding out how they were actually related. This was the powerful thing in this book, because one of the characters was able to switch. She could switch back and forward between a black woman and a white woman. And so that was, you know, a mystical element, and the story goes on. But what I loved about it is that they intertwined the story of, I always want to say, when I want to talk about this young man, y'all, I always want to say Medgar Evers, but it wasn't Medgar. It was, it'll come to me. The young man who was killed maliciously. They intertwined that story. They intertwined the story of the Tulsa massacre. So, and because they would intertwine it as though, you know, it was with the young man, he lived in the community, and you saw them go through the funeral and everything of that. And then with the Tulsa massacre, it was, they talked about that. Oh, it was beautiful because you were actually in it. Because I forget what character was, did they go and visit them during the time that the massacre was going on? But anyway, it just kind of gave you a picture of what it was like that day that they went into the city and, you know, and started burning down Tulsa, and the family, because I can see it, and the family is, you know, how they were trying to get ready and trying to fight because they could travel, you know, kind of between time a little bit. But anyway, so that with love between Lovecraft Country, watching Lovecraft Country and the series Them on Netflix, I was able to, and I think I was going through some things on my job at the time, because really, y'all, what this does, when you see those series, you really realize how much we are still living it every day on these jobs. And the torture that we're still doing. And it's subtle, but you know, the mentality that people still have and how we have allowed ourselves to just really be ushered into being submissive to a certain mindset, you know, to succeed. And it was an awakening for me. So I would encourage you all that if you have not watched Lovecraft Country, please watch it, because it was really enjoyable. And it didn't make you feel like you, well, kind of, sort of. You know, I know we have to be mindful because we still have to go to work every day. And, you know, we do encounter. But what I'm hoping that it will get us back to is understanding how strong we are as a people, how strong we were at a time in our lives, because and how important our unity really is, because we accomplished a lot. Like I said, our family, it reminds you of how much our ancestors, our parents, our grandparents, that we touch and see every day. If you are in your 50s and 60s now, and you have uncles and parents that are still living, those are, you know, those people went through that. In my current job, I have a woman that I work with now who is in her 70s, right? And she's part-time, you know, but she's working with us. And I get tickled because, you know, I can talk to her about that time. Something came up and that reminded us of that time, you know, that time period. And she was like, oh yeah, because I remember what it was like. You know, I have cousins, y'all, not even mothers and aunts, but I have cousins who were impacted by a lot of those, you know, that segregation, coming out of segregation. So these people are around us every day. Talk to them. Hear their experience firsthand, because I think that's what's happening with this younger generation. They feel like that was so long ago, and they're so detached from it. If you're in your 30s, right, Gen X, I'm Gen X, millennials, talk to your aunts, your great aunts and uncles, and just ask them, share a story about something that you went through, because we are still living amongst people who were living during the 50s and the 60s and even the 40s, and they can share their stories. And if you're someone that's from that generation and you've never done it, please talk to your children and your grandchildren and share some of your stories so they can understand how real this really is and how far we've come, but how close we still are. And with everything, and this was my, before I end, I will close with this. This was my reason for doing this, because at this time, when we are about to make history, I don't want us to make the same mistake that we made when we made history with Obama, thinking that, oh, we arrived. No, we haven't. And so in 2026, we can't make the same mistake that we made in 2010 after Obama had been elected and we thought we had made it and he was going to do all of these great things for Black people. We sat at home 2010. Obama was elected in 2008. We sat at home. Y'all sat at home because I didn't. But we as a group sat at home and did not go back and vote, do the congressional voting. Once Kamala is put in office, right, in 2025, in 2026, 2027, whenever that time is, we cannot sit back and think that we've done something great and sit back and go, you've got to still stay conscious, because she is going to need us to go and do the congressional voting so that she can get people in the Congress, the House and Senate that's going to support the things that she needs to do to make a difference in this country, not just for Black people, but for everybody, which will still impact Black people. So please, y'all, please, if you lean in the other direction or you want to listen to all of this nonsense everybody else is talking, that stimulus check is not going to get you through, if we were to even get one, if that other person got in office. Releasing prisoners like my nephew, yeah, but you ain't never been in jail. You don't know these prisoners. And, don't let the small things like that, and it's not small when somebody gets released from prison, but in the whole context of things, it is small when you look at what our other option outside of Kamala is. And please, 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 last thing, please, Project 2025. That's a public document. You can download it yourself, print it, read it. It's almost 1,000 pages. I did not. Did I print it? I did not. I think I did print it. Or what I know I did, I went to ChatGPT. All you got to do is go chatgpt.com. And when you get in there, just like on the Google line, when you're asking Google a question, go in there and say, summarize Project 2025. Click, and it's going to break it all down for you. You don't have to go through all the pages. So please do that. You can do it on your phones. If you don't have a computer, you can do it on your phone. You can get to ChatGPT, go to your Explorer or your Chrome or whatever, So that's my lecture today. Please understand our history, understand what all of our ancestors, our forefathers went through to get us to where we are today, so that we don't waste their efforts, all right? And like always, keep reading to feed your mind. Love y'all. God is good. Talk to you later. Bye.
It's all about Caribbean International Shipping. That's right. Do you need more information on shipping your items to the U.S., Southeast region, or to the Caribbean? Have you ever heard of Caribbean International Shipping? You shop, they pack, and ship. They also offer residential pickup services. Support our business, like, share, and call for your